Yo, what's up guys? Old School Dan here, and in this video, we're going to be doing a little breakdown of Frank Zane's posing routine. And excuse my voice because I'm really sick and I got my nose plugged with some tissue. I'm wearing sunglasses for some reason because my eyes burn every time I look at the bright light. But anyways, we're going to be doing a little breakdown of Frank Zane's posing routine. I'm going to point out two things that you should really pay attention about when it comes to Frank Zane's posing, other than he's a really good poser. He was really a good presenter on stage. All right, so I hope you're ready for this. This is pretty exciting. This is pretty fun. All right, man, let's jump into it. All right, so I don't know if you already knew this, but Frank Zane is a really good poser. He truly is. Compare him to anybody else. Arnold Schwarzenegger, it wasn't good. It wasn't a good poser like Frank Zane. Samir Banu was not a good poser like Frank Zane. If you were to watch Arnold posing and if you were to watch Samir Banu's posing and then Frank Zane's posing, you will instantly see that Frank Zane is the best poser out of all of them. He understood that if you want to be a really good poster, you have to put a lot of time to it, and he knew that if you didn't, it shows on stage. On stage, if you haven't been practicing posing, it definitely shows. And I think some of the reasons why he's a really good poser is A, he would take a lot of photographs and he would find angles that he felt suited him the best. B, he spent a lot of time practicing his posing. So here's one thing about Frank Zane's posing we're about to look at right now. First of all, he never hits a power pose. You will see he will never hit a pose like Samir Banu, Arnold Schwarzenegger, or Mike Menser. They all have different physiques. Frank Zane has the genetic makeup of what you call an ectomorph. Well, according to Arnold's encyclopedia, an ectomorph mesomorph. But you're gonna notice that he never hits a crucifix pose or the front double biceps like Arnold would, or like a most muscular such as Franco. So yeah, anyways, let me show you real quick. I don't know if you've noticed already, but he relies on of his aesthetics. Like he relies a lot on his abs, his quad separation. Most of those points, mostly his abs and his quads, he likes to really show those points because, first of all, Frank Zane has good abs. Arnold Schwarzenegger didn't have great abs like Frank Zane. Of course, different body types. And Frank Zane had some deep ass cuts in his legs. Do not disagree with me. If you compare Arnold's cut legs to Frank Zane's cut legs, Frank Zane beats him almost. I wouldn't say by maybe not like a landslide, but Frank Zane has some deep ass cut in his legs. So he relies a lot on his deep cuts in his legs and his abs to really not win the shows, but like to really bring out his appearance, to really flatter his appearance. My bad. So yeah, if you were to go back and look at Frank Zane's full posing routine, you'll start to notice that he uses a lot of his legs and abs to really flatter his appearance. And the next thing we're going to talk about is his positioning. This guy is he's genius when it comes to positioning. He knows how to position his wrists and his arms so that he looks 10 times more aesthetic, and he really knows how to position his feet and his legs in a certain angle so that he doesn't look small. It comes out like it all flows really, really good. This guy was a genius when it came to doing that. It has to do a lot of him taking photographs, figuring out, oh, if I move my leg a little bit back or forward, if I bend my knee a little bit, I'll get this sort of look. And if I lift my wrist up and I lift my arm and another one lower, you get this type of effect. And really, when it comes to posing on stage, you really have to find those angles that work to your advantage, because you just can't be. I don't want to go into a whole spiel, but I'm just going to show you some footage real quick, and you'll start to notice how he positions his legs, his feet, his wrists, so that he creates this effect. So yeah, let me show you. Alright, Alright, so there's two factors you really want to pay attention to when it comes to Frank Zane's posing. And this is what I'm talking about in terms of positioning. First of all, he has the slight hip lean. Now, another guy you've seen this on is probably Serge Nubret. He has the slight hip lean. He allows his weight to gracefully rest on, in this case, Frank Zane's left leg. Now, I'm going to make a point with this, so just stick with me. The next thing is the slight knee bend. What this does with the slight knee bend and the slight hip lean is it creates an S effect. And what this does, it makes his flow, his line, it flows like a river. It just looks good. And if you've ever seen something like you saw the Olympia this year and you saw Ruff and Diesel against Sadiq, they both hit a pose where they were supposed to create an S effect, and Ruff and Diesel hits it 10 times better than Sadiq because he understands the slight knee bend, the slight hip lean, and then obviously Sadiq does not. But then again, it's a picture, so you can't really judge it. But yeah, that's what I'm talking about. His positioning is very correct, and it just creates an effect, which is really cool. So yeah, so let's do a quick recap of the whole entire video. Now, there's two strategies we talked about. Frank Zane, first of all, he never hits a power pose like Mike Mentzer, or Schwarzenegger, Frank Colombo, or Tom Platz. He does not have the genetic makeup for that. He's what you call an ectomesomorph. So he likes to flatter his appearance with some of the stuff he's really worked really hard on. Well, his legs, he's got deep cuts, which he shows a lot. And the other thing, he's abs. He's got really good abs. All right, so that's one thing. Another thing, he's very good at positioning his body to create a really nice flowing effect, like a line. Like Arnold Schwarzenegger says in Pumping Iron, you want to create one line. This is exactly what he's doing. He's creating a line, but in this case, it's what we call the S effect. Kind of like flowing like a river. So yeah, those were his two strategies. Now, if you like this video, like it right now. Subscribe if you want to see more videos like this. Thanks for watching. This is Old School Dan checking out. Peace.